facility, and thank you for keeping me techie savvy. So I'm talking with a microphone. Fun. So today it's going to be a little bit heavy at times, but this discussion is try to be thought provoking, to think about physical security maybe in a light that has been needs to change a little bit as times have changed. We're at different times. Things are different now. Our threats are different. So what I want to talk about is what I term as the trident approach to physical security. In the room, when I say physical security, what typically comes to mind? What kind of platforms? What is physical security? When I say that, what is that to the room? What does that mean? Access control. Okay. Anything else? Manpower, security, physical, guards, gates, surveillance, maybe. Okay. All right. Traditionally, that's what we've defined as physical security. And Wikipedia actually will go one step further, if I can pull them down, and physical security, pulling it out. And we see it as CCTV surveillance, it's access control, perimeter intrusion, security guards, personnel. It's all about keeping protection of property and people. Visitor badging, carousels, metal detectors. What we typically define as physical security lies on two typical platforms, the card access and surveillance. That took off back in the bombing of the towers back, and we just had an observance 23 years ago as the towers fell, really put this front and center 23 years ago. I was in the industry at the time. We saw the industry change and how we addressed that based on those crucial events. And we really haven't addressed it since that time. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, we have different threats now. And in today's time, if we're not talking about an emergency notification as part of your physical security platform solution, as you look at your theory of how do I going to deploy cameras? How am I going to deploy my access points or my control points with card access? Do I put gates up? Do I need carousels? How do I control and keep the people that are in my care safe? So often when I ask my clients and customers, what do you do for your emergency notification? And you go, oh, we have an app. I said, okay, that's nice. What else? No, we have an app. Okay. So I guess my life don't matter? I'm not on your app. It's not inclusive. It's with prejudice. Your delivery drivers, technicians that are in your IDF, visitors, family members, everybody that comes into your facilities that are not our employees or members that you know about, if you're using a non-inclusive platform, you're deploying it with bias and prejudice. Are you really doing anything good for your department and safety? Because if it's not inclusive, what does that mean from a liability standpoint? Think about fire systems. If a fire gets in this building, we're inclusive with speakers, strobes, horns, low frequency speakers for sleeping areas. It's very inclusive. If a fire breaks out in this building, we notify everybody in this building what's going on. It's not secret hush hush. It's everybody's in harm's way. Everybody needs to do what they need to do to protect themselves. If we fail to do that, there's a liability and an ownership of the property and the concern of the property you're at. You and your loved ones are more likely to get hurt or killed in an active event than you are a fire. Yet we don't treat it the same. In today's times, when the wolf comes knocking, whether it be a tornado, hurricane, active shooter, H2N gas release, ammonia gas release, whatever the wolf is, you have to be able to communicate it to everybody in your facility, inclusive. So I argue that if we start looking at our two traditional physical security, two platforms, we should today's time put a third fork into that, another platform that's inclusive, that's interactive, interdependent, inter-trigger, Because times have changed. Things have changed. Back in the day, I see I have some officers in front of me. It was 911 was called. We're going to set up hostage. We'll call. Don't alert the population. We'll take care of it. Things have changed. Now, if things come knocking, it is onus to let us know what's going on. We have first responders coming. We have protocols. But if the population doesn't know, if the environment changes and the incident command comes on, they need to communicate, hey, I need you to go to the back door, not the front door now. I need you to go left, not right. You got to have that communication capability to the population to control and secure. Making any sense? We are doing everything good, guys. 23 years ago, we started this. We've done it. We've digested it. Well, things have changed. Our threats are different. If you're keeping this piece out and it's not inclusive and you're just saying, oh, I can throw $7 in an app per person, that's easy, sign the check, go. Are you really doing justice with what you're trying to do? I question that it's a piece, but it should not be all. What do we get when we talk about emergency notification platform? Sure, I have a mobile app in there. It's a piece of it. It's audible alerts, it's visual alerts, it's blue light emergency stations. So I start talking to you out in the vehicles when you come into my facility, in the parking garages. Door gate control, intercom, mobile apps, graphical maps of the facility. I can tie into your wireless radios now. So if your staff, your members use radios, I'm going to push that out to you. Not to pick on my officers, but I seldom see one in the conference room when I visit with them without their radio sitting right there and that microphone's right to their ear. They're teed in. You're familiar with your radio, aren't you, sir? I mean, it's part of their day-to-day. So if I'm sitting here having this presentation, I have my SRO officer, my officers in front of me, and you hear that come across, stranger danger and AI detection, all the technologies in which you're seeing deployed here, those are triggers to my platform. All these fancy camera AIs, all the other triggers in your environment, whatever your environment is, vape sensors, whatever it is, feed that into the notification platform that consists of this. These are endpoints, ways to communicate. Once that trigger comes into the platform, we decide what we need to do, digest that, and we deliver it to the eyes and the ears of the people that need to know it. If it's an active shooter, sure, all call. If it's a maintenance alert because my machine went down, I tell the maintenance department. If it's a suspicious individual out front of my campus, I let my security team know about it. I don't need to do all calls. So we break out, tell the departments, the divisions, the buildings, the locations of the people that need to know whatever the message is that's triggered my system, emergency or not. It could be pizza in the cafeteria. It can be morning announcements, it can be break tones, it can be anything you want it to be that's important to you and your facility. Once that trigger comes in, I digest it and I deliver it. And the delivery methods can be many. It can be one-to-one, it could be one-to-many, it could be one to a group, one to a zone, wherever and however you wanted to do that. I am brand agnostic. The way our platform is designed, engineered, and done, I don't care what card access system you've deployed. I don't care what camera systems you've deployed, vape sensors, gunshot detection, whatever triggers are important to you and technologies in which you've deployed is fine. You put a notification platform in the middle of that and use that, tie it in, and put the important triggers in place of it, and you get powerful integrations. If you're in a healthcare facility, why does my code blue have to be punched bedside by the nurse? It goes down to dispatch. Dispatch picks up and manually makes that call out to the code blue team. Why do we have a human element? Why don't I just hit the code blue station bedside and it digests and it automatically articulates out code blue, room 201, bed A. Hands-free, same cadence, same knowledge. Same with my security teams, weather alerts. I'm going out on my blue light poles. I'm telling you to get into your ingress and shelter areas. I'm unlocking doors so that nobody walks up to a locked door and is locked out of the building. We use powerful integrations to get you 2 + 2 = 5. We give you actionable intelligence to our first responders. We tell the people that are in harm's way how to get to save themselves. And now we've come to a point where we're starting to release the liabilities. We're doing all we can do based on what wolf, what situation, machines down, thermostat and a cooler's going high, whatever the event is, we are alerting and pushing it to the appropriate personnel and population to alert outward. Anything less than that puts a lot more burdens on the situation. Making sense. Thought-provoking. It's like, wow. It's an aha moment. I used to use a 3-legged stool. I don't know. I had all kinds of weird stuff in my head. I've been in the industry since '88. Been around for a long time, electrical engineer. So that's a little bit about me. I've been studying and doing a lot of this, a lot of that technology out there I've deployed and installed myself. We need those technology partners, but instead of just saying, hey, I've got a cool camera AI and this computer's beeping and don't know that it's there and it's alerted to me, or I'm trying to SMS message that to you and you don't check your phone right now because you're giving me attention, thank you. You know, you're not checking all of that. You get out of this meeting like, oh, what did I miss? You know, no, I want to push it to you based on the level of priorities and the alertness. I'm not going to let you guys ignore me if it's important. If a fire goes off in this building, the fire alarm system goes off, you cannot ignore it. We got to leave because it's irritating by design. Why is not our emergency notification platforms doing that on any active event? Guys, we can look at some past histories. We can look at what's going on. You have Uvalde out there, had technology deployed, has some cameras. We know what happened. We know what happened. We had a guy go in, pull a gun out of the car, walk through a parking lot, take 2 shots into the building, continue to walk up to that building, walk into that side door, walk down a hallway, barricade himself into a classroom around soft targets. No way. No way should that ever happen. Now our PD first responders start showing up. They got a difficult extraction of situation at their hands. There's nothing easy about that. Talked before this latest event about Tennessee, private situation again, cameras, card access, all that. The girl threw out the glass, went in, started walking. We lost 4 lives in that, or 7 lives in that event. 2 of them were administrators. But that camera footage, you know, like she's walking up and down empty corridors. Everybody was behind locked doors. We lost fewer lives. Our PD, first responders showed up. She took a spot on the 2nd floor, taking shots down on the first responders as they was coming into the building because she had nothing else to engage. First responders coming to the side of the glass, went upstairs, engaged her. As relatively easy, say easy, keep it relative, nothing easy about it, but first responders neutralized the threat. Because we was able to get people in safe and the community out of this so our first responders could respond to the event and the wolf that was knocking. That's the difference between notification and not. We know from a company called I Love You Guys out of Colorado. We are their technology partner. They go around and they train and talk to personnel about active events, what's going on, and they issued what they call an SRP, Standard Response Protocols. And it's teaching that. What they will tell you in all their research, if I can get you and your loved ones behind a locked door in an active situation, you go home, you live. Nobody's ever been killed behind a locked door. My job, emergency notifications job, is to get your personnel be safe places no matter what the wolf is. If we can do that, you go home, they can hug you, they've got a story to tell, but at least they've got breath. This is the times we're in. We're not going to be able to legislate and change and take all your guns away. We're not going to be able to legislate and change global warming. These events are real. Today's times, they're real. We as technologists, as security people looking at how do we keep our environment safe as a community, you need notification in there. Valcom's been designated as an anti-terrorism technology by Homeland Security. This is doubling down. All I'm trying to show you is there are big departments. People understand this that are being studying and knowing what's important in building a true, solid physical security performance. Here recently, we just had the Georgia incident, lost 4 lives, technology was there, it's deployed. That could have been a whole lot uglier situation real fast. There was technology deployed, it worked fairly well, and we left casualties to 4. Neutralization, the threat was done without taking life. First responders were able to collapse that fairly quick. As we get better with our technologies, as we get better with our alerting platforms, as we get better as communicators, we can look through those things and think about what kind of wolf can come knocking at my door. If that wolf shows up, what do we do about that? And articulate and set that pattern forward and play that playlist in place. Put your automatic messages in so now it's secondhand nature so we can minimize the threat that the wolf is bringing. I can have all the cameras after the fact. Johnny threw the first punch. Susie took the lunchbox. Let's review footage. There's the red car, came on property at 2 o'clock. All reactive. Card access is only as good as control as people want it to be. Observe the barriers and don't break the barriers. An alert approach, notification is the only platform, I'll argue, that is proactively will allow you to get in front of it, to allow you to minimize the damage that the wolf or whatever the threat is can be minimized. And if that's a thermostat and a cooler, by God, your food didn't get spoiled. You didn't get that loss, right? If it's a machine shop in your manufacturing facility, it's critical to your operations and it goes down, I'm telling maintenance staff. If I've got a guard shack out front and they see something coming in, bad weather, whatever, I've got a box to tell my plant. Whatever the wolf is, I need to be able to communicate it. With communications, then we can decide what our role is based on that information. Often use the thought in the conversation, if the word came in, an active shooter in this room would hear about it, there would be 30 people in here, 50 people, whatever's in here. We all might have different responses. We have an armed officer in the front here. He's hopefully will go, God bless you, not me, but he's going to the fight probably. He's trained that way. It's not my DNA. Love you guys, but not me. I'm crawling behind the podium peeing myself. I'm sorry, I'll find me back here in a pool of pee. Everybody else might know of a place to evacuate and escape and do whatever, but we all get the information. We decide what's best for us. Making sense. And guys, the beauty of it, a platform like this blends into what you've done so well already. I'm not asking you to rip anything out. I'm not asking you to, oh, well, you did what last year? Oh, you gotta go, no. This lays into the ecosystem in which you're already moving forward to try to create a secure area, safe work environment, safe area for you, your staff members, and everybody that's on your campuses. Any questions? I kind of don't want to get too heavy, but does this seem reasonable? Do we have an emergency notification? Show of hands. How many emergency notification platforms are out there in your physical security design?
We have
Okay.
one, Everbridge.
Okay. So Everbridge is good. Off-prem, triggers to you, goes to mobile apps, and
Phone calls.
and,
Text message,
and,
radio,
and,
computer, internet.
okay. I guess my life don't matter. I'm not a part of any of that. I guess my life don't matter.
Yeah, Capital complex.
It's all your people. They are the people that you know about, gets all the alerting.
Everybody on the Capital complex.
Yep. But how do you get to the audibles, to your delivery drivers? They're not on your Everbridge app. Datavox comes in and gets in your IDF clause and works 8 hours punching down cable, and he's not on your it's not on your app. His life don't matter. Friends and family, workers, whatever's on your campus, I guess they don't matter. It's inclusive with bias is what I'm going to offer you. I'm not saying it's a bad, it's certainly a piece, but if you say that's what I have, I could argue that you're probably better off not even having it. Because heaven forbid the wolf comes knocking and somebody that wasn't on that app gets hurt and everybody that is on the app is safe. What's the peer of 13 going to say? If a mobile app's all that, why don't we have fire alarm mobile apps? Why do I go all the problems of putting horn strobes and synchronizing strobes and all of that to make it all inclusive? If a mobile app's all that, why don't we just put fire alarm on mobile apps? Guess my life don't matter. It's with bias and prejudice what you're working off of. That's scary. That needs to be looked at. Certainly a layer, and we work with Everbridge, and we're their on-prem partner to give on-prem notification because Everbridge don't really have a good suite for that. They do a lot of good stuff. They're a powerhouse. Respect that company a lot. But without on-prem notification that's inclusive, without bias, without prejudice, I'll argue you're falling short and you're opening yourself up to future and bigger liabilities than if you didn't even have the platform to begin with.
So how's that what you're talking about? I'm not part of that program, Everbridge, but I'm visiting the complex that is there some kind of emergency that how's it know?
Many ways, many ways. I can do global contacts. If it's, hey, I need a global, give me a dry contact, I can trigger, right? Okay, a global. The biggest way I can do with Everbridge is probably do an SMS, freezing up here, syslog, thank you. Roy's my engineer. Roy, engineer, come on, give me that. So Roy, my engineer. But we could go into syslog and we watch Everbridge syslog on streaming. We pull out those triggers that they're triggering on that's important to you or needs to be triggered out, tornado, severe weather, whatever, this zip code that they're launching into you on your alerts. We can trigger that and do an automated message. Okay, and it can be very granular or it can be very global with dry contacts. So we have those interfaces built in place. We can make that happen. And that's what I'm saying. We're brand agnostic because the way we do syslog, dry contacts, we do common alert protocol, CAP messaging, which is the national weather alert, amber alerts, things like that are all CAP messages. We can communicate across that. I can give you analog audio to digital audio. I can communicate across that. There is so many ways and fingers without writing specific custom AI from Valcom to brand X, Valcom to brand Y, Valcom to, we don't write custom AIs. We work in a protocol platform that is universal to all technologies. Syslogs are universal to just about every technology out there. All those platforms out there create syslogs. We monitor and trigger on that. We turn it in text to speech. We articulate that back out and we launch it via SMS if that's the right thing, over your radios if that's the right platform, overhead speakers if that's the right platform. Wherever, however I need to deliver that message, I can start doing that, but I'm using your syslogs from all your other disparate systems as the trigger. Making sense? Want to go any deeper with technology? We're on floor 1 downstairs, and Roy will happy to take that up with you. So, as my engineer, but I mean, we run down these rabbit holes, and we work it out. That's unique. Everybody's location is unique. Everybody's technology is unique, and we engage you. Datavox is very good at that. You look at their resources, their engineers. They understand their other technologies, and they work as the gateway and the glue to pull this together. We support them with our engineering team as well when we're brought into that ecosystem.
Yeah, so our system operates on a text-to-speech and a WAV file. So if we come onto your campus, you have everything existing already. You tell me what you want our system to say whenever we receive a contact closure. So whatever your specific message is, we input it into our system. When we receive that closure from you, it's automatically activated from our system. And it's all 100% customizable. So if your campus says one thing and your campus says another, we just type it in the system differently, and that's what plays out. If it changes, I'm sorry? How many different languages do you support?
So WAV file wise, infinite, because anything you put in there is WAV file. We can spit back out. Our digital sign messages downstairs, 2.0, our newest one, organically does English and Spanish on the scrolling text.
Yeah. But because it is WAV file, if you have 6 different languages, you can have somebody record those messages in that language. We upload it just like a bell tone, and then we just play it whenever you want to play it, however you want to play it.
Getting into solutions, again, feel free to come by our table downstairs, have offload conversations, get down these rabbit holes. But failure to put a notification platform into your physical security suite, or just saying I've got a mobile app or I've got a piece of it, of that slide that I showed you, in today's times is opening yourself up to the question, are you really doing all you can do, knowing when the wolf comes knocking, are you doing everything you can do to make sure that those members of your team are going home safe to their family members? Any other questions?
Yeah, the beauty of the system is we don't want to take over. We don't want to replace what you have now. We want to add to it. We want to give you a way to include everybody by announcing over the speakers that you already got in the system, that's already there. So we give you gateways that we can take over the audio that comes out of those speakers. So we don't want you to redo everything. We just want to be the piece that brings everything together.
I have a college campus and their officers tied their radio system into their platform. Their blue light poles throughout are all Valcom with 360 speakers around them. Our officers on that campus can walk up to any incident, any situation, dial their radio, channel 9, and pull up their microphone on their vest and have live voice to every one of those blue towers in the campus and can talk to the entire campus with eyes on the incident, be an incident commander, talking about what they're seeing and what they need done and what they need the campus and the environment to do, and it's going out live over all speakers. And it's not a radio up to dispatch. Dispatch is trying to digest it and radio it back down. It is live and real there. It's powerful. With my officers are often out on foot patrol in their vehicles, whatever, bus transportation radios. Now the trigger hits, I'm going over speakers. Yep, I'm barking out of your radio as well. You're at lunch, you're in your office, you're in your car, you're in a meeting, you're getting that notification. You know there's a wolf and what it is and it's coming, and you got to address it, or no, that's fine, I can let it go, my team has it. But without information, you are blind, you don't know. You're reactive, you're responding after the turmoil. With this system, we get proactive. When the wolf comes knocking, we immediately alert and we tell the people immediately so we can get proactive and get after it fast. Start locking doors, unlocking doors, opening, whatever we need to do to get people in the climate safe and locked down and into the safety situation.
Yep. In the example of K through 12 or education, because we're also your Bell and PA system, we're testing the system every day. You're not waiting for an emergency to find out the speaker in Mrs. Smith's classroom didn't work. She didn't get the emergency notification. We know that she got the bell. She knows she heard the bell. If she didn't hear the bell, she's going to let you know she didn't hear the bell so that you can see what's going on with that speaker. So every day we're testing the system by using it normally so that you know in emergency situations, everybody's going to hear what that emergency message is.
Within the platform, most of our platform is IP based and we got a heartbeat on every device. So we monitor that and we can push that up as well. So we also have real live time monitoring by a heartbeat. Heartbeat goes away, we can push that notification up to our maintenance team saying we've got a piece down or failure within the system. To Roy's point, daily use, we double up, right? I would encourage my security professionals that are in the room that you look at this. Bell MPA is not facilities problem. It's not IT's problem. It needs to be pulled into the suite of how do I address and secure my property. Bad things come to happen. What is that process? How do I digest that? What events need to be done? Go to your emergency action plans if you've already developed them and read them. Most of those emergency action plans say I've got 10 different events. I pull over to whatever that is, and there's probably 10 to 12 things I'm supposed to do. Most of those things can be automated into the notification platform. So now it's a one push, it's a one trigger, it's a one touch, so that everybody can then start saving themselves or putting themselves in a safe place from the environment. Makes sense? Or do I need to pull down a book, go over to tab 7 and do the 8 events, and I'm the one that has to be at harm's way while I go through this arduous procedure during this event and hope I can get everybody else safe? Shouldn't be that way, guys. Amazon lost 7 people in a tornado right outside of St. Louis. I'm a St. Louis resident, please. Sorry, I'm not a Texan, but I'm out of Missouri. That tornado hit that distribution site. They lost 6 lives, 7 lives in that event. 4 of those individuals were managers, and it's their job to run around with a bullhorn to tell their employees to get in their storm shelters. They were running around trying to save their team members and lost their lives. There's no way a pattern, a procedure, a place should incorporate, oh, your life is not valuable, go run around and save everybody else. My fiance works for a school district. She's an administrator. It was her job in one of the districts she was assigned to sit there and watch the cameras and be the live microphone play-by-play. Hey, I got a guy coming in the back door. Wow, he took 2 shots. She would be in turmoil watching video of that going down. That is not her badge. She would be a mess. She's in a glass office. I guess her life don't matter because she has to play play-by-play? No. Trigger the incident and allow everybody to go to safety. Everybody. Seconds count, lives matter. You got brave officers that put themselves in life's danger. God bless you, sir. I mean, it puts here again, really. It's my job to give you guys as much actionable information as I can as you're coming in, because as you're running towards the wolf, people are running away from it. I got to give you that, dude, you're looking for a blue shirt guy. So everybody with the blue shirt, you're saying, nope, not you. You're going over there for a minute. I want to give you guys as much actionable information as the times unfold and as you're rolling in and what's going on. When you get 3 wide, you know what's going on. You're not down in the mobile app. You're not trying to figure things out. Your head's up, you're going in. And if I can get that actionable intelligence to your eyes and the ears of that population of the people, and as your 3 officers are 3 wide going in and doing your deal, and you get to go home at night, I've done my job. Done my job.
And the system can be used in something as big as multi-million-dollar school districts that we're in right now, LAUSD, Fort Worth ISD, Dallas ISD, or it could be a mom and pop shop with a 2-bay mechanical garage and 1 office. So it doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar install. We can do something as simple as that and still be able to get that messaging across to them.
Platforms that Valcom has developed and done are very scalable, very nimble. I don't have to do it all. I can work within your infrastructures, old amplifiers, old paging systems, old whatever. Bring us in, let us digest your environment. Let's see what we can reuse and build off of what you've already deployed. Okay? Any questions? Does it make sense? Does the trident approach make sense in physical security in today's time? That's what I'm going to leave you with. Next time you see a trident, hopefully you'll think of this discussion. I know it's a little heavy. I know it's a little bit out there. But is it really? You're more likely to lose, to get hurt or killed, you or a loved one, in an active event than you are a fire. That's today's environment that we're in. How do we deal with that? And how do we build towards getting a better wolf trap, if you would, if I may? How do we protect ourselves against the wolf that comes knocking in today's events? Notification needs to be a part of that platform. One last thing I'll leave you. When you put your paging system, when you put your bell and PA system, when you put your notification platform, whatever that is currently, as bad or good as it is today currently, when you put that in as part of your emergency notification platform, you now qualify for many, many, many physical security grants that are out there from the federal and state level. So now it becomes a funded platform. When I'm with my integrators, I ask them, how many 20-year-old camera systems do you guys work on? Not many. They're all been ripped out and replaced and upgraded. How many 20-year-old card access systems do you work on? Not many. Most of them have been upgraded and funded and taken care of and current. How many 20-year-old paging systems are there out there? A lot. Almost every one. How many 20-year-old Bell and PA systems in my K-12 markets are out there? A lot. You put them in at the beginning of the school when you built the school 30 years ago, and the system's still there working because it's just Bell and PA. It's just paging. It's not fun and it's overlooked. My physical security teams that are developing the physical security solutions, oh, that's IT, that's facilities. I got a mobile app, half issued. Guys, this needs to be looked at front and center. Look at it. Now the funding sources come with it. Now your Bell and PA, now your paging system, now your digital signage, now your mobile apps, now your blue light stations are all covered under physical security grant funding and budgets. If I've got IT and facilities in the room, I would strongly suggest you say, hey, I need to sit down with my physical security team, my captains, my officers, environmental health and life safety officers, the people that are constructing and responsible for the safety of the facilities needs to hear this. They need to be considering it. And anything short of that and being inclusive without bias is opening yourself up to liabilities. Guys, we're downstairs on the first floor. We're 12:08. Respecter of time. Any questions? We've got about 7 minutes left for this. Anything at all? Does it make sense? I ask that you think about your physical security as a 3-platform approach, no longer a 2-platform approach. So if I can say hunt with a trident, not a fork, know that your physical security systems need to be a trident, a 3-prong platform. We work interoperable. We work with that. We work within your environment. And we got great partners like DataBox that are excellent about knowing, going out, walking your facilities, looking at the drawings, talking about what pain points, what holes, what does all this look like to bring technology together to work better for you guys. With that, I am done unless there's any other questions.
Thank you.